And that's the view. This is actually the view from the middle of lot 5 looking towards the dock. So this is the sort of character that it had at that time. This would be the machine shop on this side, and that would be the now demolished building. And the land use study I mentioned, the land swap happened to secure the site, and that was the vision. So the idea was to transform a portion of the Shipyards into this sort of town center destination. It's going to be active, diverse, interesting, publicly accessible, had to be economically viable. Again, we didn't own any of it, and we had to have enough development to pay for the construction of all of this, which included contamination cleanup, complete reconstruction of Esplanade with its widening, district heating system, the whole road system that went in, and the payment for all of the public realm areas that you see now. Respectful of the site's historic past and compatible with the surrounding lower lots. And so, and then this bit at the end was trying to respect the fact that there still was going to be a working waterfront to the east.
How new is that? Is that still?
No, that's the vision from here, which hasn't really changed.
Okay.
But that was the land use study vision that came out that we've been looking into
Okay.
ever since. And again, this is just a sense of the density of use. And so this was the original concept for the site, which had the coppersmith pipe shop, machine shop, these two heritage buildings, the St. Roch dock, the our dry dock pier, some thought maybe some structure out on the pier, and the 3 linear buildings along the waterfront, one known as the 6. This was the hotel concept, and then the construction across the north side of Esplanade. So that was kind of the 1970s version, 1997 version of how this might build out. And again, quite low scale in this area, we get more density happening on the north side. So larger buildings on the north side and less building on the south side of Esplanade. And that's sort of just pointing out that. Sort of a cross section through the site of the towers on the north side, and stepping down as we get down. That would be the machine shop. That's the sort of large community building. At one time the thought was that's where the museum would be.
But how many stories was the machine shop? Equivalent to like a building?
Yeah, about
5,
7 stories.
7
6 or
high?
7 stories.
Okay.
You get a sense of it here.
Yeah.
So this is a model that was
Okay.
made depicting that. So this is lot 5 here, right? And that's that what became the gantry.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you sort of look at what's actually been built, this has come together. Yeah, these are those artifact trucks before they were redone. The crane before it was redone. And this is the state of some of the docks. This is actually the St. Roch dock. If you walk or just past today, things were in really bad shape. St. Roch dock used to be about 3 times as long as what it is now. And again, some of the buildings are pretty dilapidated.
You say 3 times longer? That's the long dock that we went on?
No, the shorter one.
Oh.
There's the flat head. And that's the land use plan. And so we're talking about here as a whole, but lot 5 would be these ones here. So an important part of the original design was this idea of this north-south connection, so that this connection takes us through across the mid-block crossing and down to the waterfront. And that's been one of the, that's been one of the, we lost that with the National Maritime Center because this would have been one large building, but maybe 10 to 20,000 square feet. And then it went through rezoning, and then the National Maritime Center concept, that's when this got filled in. To be sort of, it's still working with the machine shop building, but this would have been all new, trying to sort of fill in, and it made that a larger block. And the hotel came in as an early depiction of the vision of the hotel. And here you see sort of the 3D modeling of sort of the 2 buildings that have been demolished and infilling with the National Maritime Center concept, and then the residential buildings that come through here. So that's what we did a deal to get ownership of all of lot 5 and control of these for 50 years, and these buildings got a bit bigger. And so that's kind of the concept that went through rezoning. So we sort of take back to the implementation of this vision through rezoning looked like this with the stern of the Flamborough head here. It's So this would be that Shipyard Heritage Precinct. And so if all of the machine shop came back, it would be about that scale. It's quite large. It fills up the full length of the site pretty much.
Gary, 50 years isn't really that long a time. What happens after that?
It goes back to the I think, International.
Who?
The developer goes back to them.
And is there, what kind of process happens at that point? Is there potential for another handover for another 50 years, or is it?
No, the idea is it goes back to them, it's like a long-term lease. So they would then be the leaseholder of the restaurants or whatever's in there. For the museum, it's more potentially problematic, but again, not many of our public uses have actually lasted 50 years anywhere. Tend to be things that have moved around, but we would like to get this on a more permanent basis. That might be something we could find a way to.
And after 50 years, is the Pinnacle, okay, they own the buildings, but can they just knock them down, start building more?
No, it comes with all the same restrictions. These are protected buildings, they're gonna have to keep them, repair them. They're zoned for certain uses, they'd be like restaurants or coffee, retail, whatever.
So they have to maintain whatever we build. Oh, God, you poor Pinnacle.
Well, I mean, it's already been built, they've built this, what you see today they built, and they've gifted them to us for 50 years. What they do, the inside will be up to them. That exterior character is something that's
I see,
special.
okay.
Where we were at one point today, where you were showing that the sign was there, and where the machine shop used to be, and all the metal and that sign, I was with Mitra and I stood back and I said, Pinnacle did do one thing right. That hotel really looked like a cruise ship sitting there with the sun coming down on
It's
it.
got that sort of pattern thing.
It was, and that was the first, like, I always kind of got that image, but today when I stood there, and I could just see the people waiting, like pulling out, you know, and it just, I caught it there.